Cyberpunk 2077 is out, and I haven't played it because I don't have any of the systems that it's on, but it's supposed to be the game.
Yeah, I haven't played it. No, I haven't played it because government won't give me any money. The government won't give me the money to buy the thing that can play it, the new game. I don't know how they want to do the economy now.
Yeah, you won't give us our stimulus checks for PS5s in Cyberpunk 2077.
Well, yeah.
Because in Cyberpunk, yeah.
I need a new computer to play it. I'm not going to get a PS5. I'm going to get a new computer.
Yeah, how else are you supposed to, become part of the Ready Player One world,
Yeah.
That's what we need with Cyberpunk 2077. You seen all those glitches that are coming out where apparently you can play with genitals on, but then, sometimes your genitals clip through your clothes?
I've seen screenshots. I haven't seen any video of it in the gameplay. I have really not been paying attention to the Cyberpunk coverage other than what people are tweeting. It seems like people are pissed about the bugs for PS4.
It's buggy because the game was also just dragged down by its huge development cycle and its notable instances of employees complaining about crunch. And not just regular crunch either, insane crunch.
Yeah.
Gulag crunch, shit like that. And so anything less than perfect would be seen as a failure, really. And it is less than perfect, but it's still apparently a pretty good game. It's hard to tell just on reviews alone because who's paid off and who isn't,
Yeah.
But it got me thinking about another thing.
Apparently the developers had a thing where if the reviews were bad, they wouldn't get their bonuses.
Okay.
And that came out yesterday. And then the reviews weren't 10 out of 10. They were
It has a 90 on Metacritic.
Yeah, so the deal was that if they had to get at least 90 or above on Metacritic to get their bonuses, and that has now been in anticipation of it dipping below, that's been removed. So the developers are going to get their bonuses. But I only follow the news of Swedish game developer Paradox that makes the map games that I so enjoy.
Oh yeah, that they make City Skylines as well. That's a beautiful game. Wait, did they also make Crusader Kings?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so they're all about map games. They're these Swedish map nerds.
Yeah, they're the map nerds.
Yeah.
But you were talking to me before the show how Cyberpunk is heralding a new sort of paradigm in. I think you called it hyper immersion.
Yeah, it's not... Yeah, hyper-immersion. And while it's not necessarily heralding, but it's exemplary of, but also, a failure in the evolution of.
Oh,
because...
Okay.
So, a video game, what it's supposed to do is, to some degree, is immerse you in the game. You're supposed to get rid of the suspension of disbelief, and you're supposed to merge with the sound and the controls and the visuals to believe that, for a brief second you are actually Mario in the Mario King in the Mushroom Kingdom, right? You get that brief glimpse of another reality as expressed through this kinetic art form. And so games have progressed to a point now that technology has progressed to a point. Since we had really the first true modern open world game in GTA 3, in Grand Theft Auto 3, there's been this game philosophy of hyper-immersion. So what the open world game is not necessarily... Because what makes something a game is that you complete a goal. There's some sort of tasks. There's some sort of way that you can finish it. But with a hyper-immersive game, you just exist in the world, and there's no end, and there's nothing that takes you out of it. And it is, in effect, an ersatz version of reality. And, well, I think it can be harmful to people as well, this philosophy. Because when you become hyper-immersed in a game, you can neglect reality as well. Some games do it through their mechanics, like World of Warcraft was a game that was so addictive based on its... RPG mechanics that, there were dozens of stories of couples neglecting their kid because they needed to farm more gold. And I think games can hyper-immerse you like that. But games now, through this open world mechanic and through this emphasis on AAA games being open world and these gigantic things where there is no end and it's just this place that you can explore for eternity. I think you see that in games like Skyrim and Grand Theft Auto 5, even though it's old as hell, and Red Dead Redemption especially. I think Red Dead Redemption is sort of the closest that we've got to this totally hyper-immersive paradigm. Something that is not immersive necessarily because of its mechanics, but because of its atmosphere. There's so much detail and character and depth to this world that it's as good as exploring your own reality, but without effort or, true pain or death or consequence.
I read one review of Cyberpunk that painted the world, though, as being kind of bleak and unpleasant to be in. So I don't know if that's true.
Yeah, but even if it's a world that's bleak and unpleasant to be in, you still you're not taxed for moving, right? It's like the reason why you don't go outside is because it's cold, it takes effort, lactic acid builds up in your muscles. But when you're a Keanu clone in Cyberpunk 2077, you can go anywhere, and there is that infinite sense of freedom, even if the world is bleak. It is still a way to hyper immerse you. Yeah. Whether the story or the simulation is, because the world of Red Dead Redemption is bleak. You wouldn't want to live in the Wild West, but because you don't expend any true effort living in that world, it becomes preferable to this one.
Is the Red Redemption world bleak too?
Yeah, I mean, as bleak as any story about the fucking Wild West is. There's a lot of death.
Yeah, I haven't played that one. I have it, but I haven't played it.
I have played smidgens of it.
I did not get immersed. It didn't work on me. I only get immersed by looking at a map of the world.
I mean, cities, yeah, but the thing is, even though City Skylines, there's no end goal, you're always, you can never be immersed in it because you aren't experiencing reality as a human. You're experiencing it from this very abstract God-level position, which is, why you can put the game down, which is, it stops resembling a reality toy.
I like to be the God Emperor in my games.
But yeah, hyper immersion. I think that eventually leads to the holodeck, and not the bad holodeck. You know how in Star Trek they always went on the holodeck. If that technology existed, that would be it. That would be the end of fucking humanity, right? You could just program anything you want. It's an endless pleasure without consequence.
Yeah, they're going back to the 20s, the roaring 20s.
Yeah.
They're going back to like they're doing film noir. they go back to a place where it's black and white.
Yeah. They go to Robin Hood. They go to Sherlock Holmes. One episode, Data is Sherlock Holmes and Geordi is Watson, and
they should go to the
Moriarty
Pokemon.
becomes self-aware.
They should go to the Pokemon universe.
If they had fucking holodeck Pokemon, that's it. I'm just living in the fucking holodeck.
Yeah, living in the world of Pokemon. I would live in the world of Pokemon.
Yeah.
If they could actually like see me and interact with me like real people, like with the new AI.
Yeah, but the problem is it's a family program in the holodeck, so you can't fuck in it. You can't,
damn.
But that's okay.
Damn.
Yeah. You can only you can't swear in it either. That would be strange.
We're gonna
if holodeck programs had certain restrictions based on ESRB ratings.
We're gonna have hyper immersion.
Immersion.
It's too bad that Jeffrey Epstein is not around to be hyper immersed with us. But I guess now we can put him in our hyper immersions.
Look, if Jeffrey Epstein had Ready Player One, he could have just interacted with a bunch of underage avatars that were actually 45-year-old men. He wouldn't have had to have gone out of his way, and it would have been just as good.
So what's your song of the year? You got one?
I think everyone's song of the year is WAP. It's got to be.
Really? That's your song of the year. Wasn't there a new Bob Dylan album?
Yeah, who cares about fucking Bob Dylan? Bob Dylan fucking sucks. He's the worst.
No.
He's the absolute. I will die on this hill. He's boring.
No.
Wait, do you like Bob Dylan? Are you standing?
Let's not talk about what I think.
Let's talk about what you think.
No, you have to defend
Early
why
one morning,
you
the
think
sun was shining. Have it up by the way. Have it up by the sucking a dick all of the goddamn day. Oh, shining and sucking and fucking and sucking, licking up all the balls. Early one morning, I was taking it all up inside my back walls. Bob Dylan, getting fucked in the ass. Yeah, I don't know.
That's good.
All of his songs are, I don't know.
That's it. That's what his songs are like.
That's all of them. That's all of them. Oh, feeling I'm getting lubed up outside of my chin.
Huh.
A KY jelly on my little belly. He is going in. Hey, I'm pretty good. I could be Bob Dylan. See, give me a Nobel fucking prize.
Oh, right. He won that. I forgot.
Yeah, for literature.
Well, I mean, him and Paul Krugman, they probably hang out.
Yeah, just doing bad takes.
Yeah.
Just throwing bad boomer takes at each other.
Yeah, so, I don't know. What else is there?
What is this new reality we have? This new reality we're trying to escape to.
Is reality of being indoors all the time. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's Ready Player 2 came out because,
split screen.
They're gonna make the movie. Spielberg's gonna make another green screen movie about how we're all animated characters now.
He is?
No, well, that's what Ready Player 1 was about. How we're just all anime now. We're all anime boys now.
What does that mean? We all like anime?
No, we're just
we're made out of, like I'm made out of anime.
We will be made of anime in the future. Yeah, we'll be higher beings because we'll be made of anime. That was the point of Ready Player 1. We are ascending to pure anime beings. Pure anime energy is invading my bloodstream, and I'm seeing everything. Yo!
That thing where water comes out of my nose is going to start happening.
Yeah, your blood will start shooting from your nose, and you'll start going Sugoi! And you'll ascend to the light being of pure anime Ready Player 1 energy. Because that's what we all want. We all want to be anime boys. We all want to be Cloud from Final Fantasy VII and, solve the environmental crisis and work through our mental problems.
That game I never got into, but that game affected most of the guys that I grew up with in a deep way.
It's a great game. Oh, man, I could talk forever about Final Fantasy. Me getting fucking immersed into a game.
All of my middle school friends could also talk forever about Final Fantasy VII, and they did.
Oh, yeah.
They did, and I did not ever understand why.
Because it's a very tween-oriented game, because the main character, Cloud, is very emo. And he's very crawling in my skin. These wounds, they will not heal. It's
cool.
He's a perfect
That's
protagonist for a 12-year-old experiencing their puberty onset identity crisis.
Yeah,
because he himself is a messed up vision of introjected memories and thoughts. Not unlike Shinji from Evangelion.
Nerd.
But also, fucking Final Fantasy VII is it is a story that vehemently argues that eco-terrorism is good, actually.
Well, we may be in need of a little eco-terrorism because, news alert, water is being sold on the stock market.
Yeah, if there was a time for Final Fantasy VII, if there was a time for Avalanche, it is now. What is this story about water being sold? How can you sell is it Nestle? Is it those old bastards that are doing it, or
no?
How do you commodify water?
Water, it's being sold as futures on the stock market, and there's rules, but they definitely gonna expand this. That's the goal, is to get more and more. So what's going on is California has a drought, and they've had a drought for the past 10 years. And farms, like big almond farms, need a lot of water, and they need to buy it in quantity. But the price of water is very volatile just there, so it's basically just for these farmers in California who can buy water from specific sellers now at a fixed price on the futures market.
This seems disturbing.
It is.
It seems like the chemical of life should really be free.
I'm sipping.
And,
I'm sipping a little
California
bit right now.
Doesn't. Yeah. I'm drinking a soda, but a lot of that is water.
At least 70%.
At least 70%.
What are they going to do? Just start cutting down? Like the soda's going to be 50% water soon?
Who thinks like this?
So it's called the
CME
Group. Is who I
the CME Group. Who's it owned by?
Excuse my typing. Chicago.
I like the clickety-clack sound.
Chicago Mercantile Exchange. That's the clickety-clack sound of Brown.
Chicago boys.
Cherry Brown. You know, the Cherry Brown clickety-clack.
Clickety-clack.
Yeah.
Are you referring to how like black people refer to dice?
No. Cherry Brown is what I am blanking on is the actual word.
What?
It's the mechanical. The mechanical keyboard has different like kinds of clack rating.
Cherry Brown clickety clack sounds like an alley dice game.
Yeah,
what are you talking about?
That's what I'm talking about. My Cherry Brown clickety clack. So,
yeah, Cherry Brown clickety clack.
No, that's what it is. I just can't think of the word for what it. Never mind. Anyway, water.
I learned that from Chappelle's show. We're also, and on top of being a transphobic podcast, we're also a racist podcast as well. So
we are not a transphobic podcast. I apologize that episode.
Okay, we're moving on.
The Chicago Mercantile Exchange.
What are they? Who are they?
They are the people who are selling water on the stock market.
Okay.
In California.
Who's their boss? Jimmy McWater Hoarder? Jerry Van Floof? Forklift McIverson? The worst Chicago water boss? Do they have anything to do with the University of Chicago and the Chicago School of Economics? Which seems like would be the source of this insane idea to privatize something that... You know, the thing about human rights is defining a human right is nebulous and obviously arbitrary. You know, nothing is a human right. No one is owed anything in reality, actually.
What?
But we live in a society where we can provide for people,
Wait,
you know?
You say human rights don't exist?
No, I don't think... I think human rights are a necessary fiction. I think.
So you say human rights don't exist?
No,
That's
there
crazy.
is no innate, there is no moral, I believe, because I don't think that ethics are abstract. That's sort of, in my limited understanding of sort of, you know, Kant and Bentham and all those guys, and all of those ideas that what is moral comes from, like, somewhere up in the air, somewhere that we can't understand, somewhere abstract, but is vaguely good, and if we behaved in this way, then, you know, everything would be much better. But I sort of like... there's a materialist feminist philosophy called care ethics, which I think is sort of a much better way to think about morality, it argues that what ethics are mostly interpersonal. That is really the only thing you can control in your relationship to ethics, is how you treat other people in the world around you. So... that is what you should measure your ethical relationships by, your ethical quality by, how you treat others in the world around you, and try to gauge it based off of that, than off of some abstract notion.
Wait, did you say this was Confucian?
No, it's like it's a modern materialist feminist philosophy.
It is a little Confucian, actually.
That sounds good.
I was looking
that
it up.
That sounds cool. What would Confucius have to say about care ethics?
I'm looking up just Confucian ethics, and it also focuses on the structure of human relationships.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I think that's, you know, because that's primarily what we do. We're subjective entities interacting with each other, and that composes reality. So,
Yeah. Well, the thing is, like,
the better relation between those entities is to serve us well.
our government is like designed based on the idea that there are unalienable human rights. So it's hard for me to conceive of this worldview.
No, yeah, there are lots of legal fictions. Like, for instance, in criminal law, I don't really think anybody is truly responsible for their actions. As a Calvinist podcast, everyone is fated to fate. So it's, so really it is wrong to punish somebody for any crime because they truly don't intend it every time.
Yeah.
But for the sake of...
Including the bankers.
Including the bankers. Really, I don't think people have control over what they do. So you can't really ascribe mens rea. You can't ascribe intent to them. But for the purpose of society getting along, you need to do it, right? It's a legal... Free will is a necessary fiction that we need to ascribe by, And in the same way, human rights is also a necessary fiction. Of course, we're in a state of nature, we're left to the wolves. And society, we have all these fantasies of society imminently crumbling. We almost pray for it in a way. So, yeah, I don't think human rights aren't innate, but they're the best. I love them. They're great. And I love them when we put them into legal codes to make it more binding and culturally relevant. I think they're fantastic. I'm pro human rights, but I don't think there's any sort of you have any objective right to anything. No.
Well, that's not very lib of you.
I'm
what
not
I have to say. I disagree with that worldview.
Why do you feel we have innate human rights?
Well, I'm not like a determinist like you. I believe in free will and unalienable human rights.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe I'm just brainwashed. Maybe I like being brainwashed.
I think the idea is something inalienable. I'm Tom Brokaw, and we're here to talk about inalienable rights. I think that is a very Protestant-y U.S. lib sort of thing. Because it's like the idea. It is a very faith-based. There are these rules that if you follow them, it doesn't matter what else you do, So, I don't know. I'm not making a good argument here. What is free will? Is what we're asking here. Big question. Big question.
It's what lets you do what you want to do when you want to do it. You know what I'm talking about?
But how do I know if it's what I want to do and someone's not just making me want to do it?
Hey, man, that's what you's got to figure out. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Every week on House of Decline, you get a haughty debate between a hardcore determinist, communist, and a lib, Protestant.
It's a classic both sides issue.
Yeah, we're like Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Ooh. Yeah.
Maybe not. I don't know. Who do we root for in this one? The last time we talked about him, Serge Tankian convinced us to root for Armenia, but...
Yeah, Armenia is Christian, I guess.
Okay, good. Great.
And that's why...
Those are our guys.
That's why I was saying that I think if George Bush was still president, I think he would have intervened, because Trump didn't really say anything. Except maybe like, that's too bad.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Trump is he did escalate some of the conflicts we were already in, but he didn't start any new ones, I guess.
Yeah, I guess not.
Unless he did and I just didn't hear about him, which is entirely possible.
He started the conflict in our souls.
Oh, no.
He started
the heart of America.
Started the conflict in the hearts and souls of our children who now are doubting, like you, in the very belief of free will and human rights.
I think... it's not that I doubt free will. I do think we have, there is some measure of choice, but I think people are more a product of their environments than they are of any sort of form of self-control or discipline. Even the things that we that Ayn Rand or someone like that would say, people who aspire to willpower, people who build great edifices, and people who think real hard and make lots of money and do industry, are they motivated? Are they motivated by some sort of desire? Did they choose that? Or is there just something driving them that they can't explain? In the same way, a day trader trades, a cocaine addict does cocaine.
Well, why would a monk or a nun join their respective convent or monastery? Why would a Confucian monk do that? Why would a Buddhist monk do that? Dedicate themselves not to procreate, to live ascetically, if not for free will? Mm-hmm.
What? I don't know. Especially that. If any sort of parasitic deified entity was going to attach you and force you to kill yourself, that sounds like the god that I want.
What?
I have no idea what I'm saying. Fucking yeah! You see those videos in Armenia and Azerbaijan?
No, don't watch the videos. The only videos I saw. Videos? So the video I think you're talking about is there's been beheading videos coming out.
Yeah,
I have not seen those or sought them out. I did look up what was going on, and apparently there's beheading videos coming out of from both Armenia and Azerbaijan.
Yes,
according
both
to
sides.
According to Amnesty International. Who knows? Are they compromised?
I don't know. Wasn't Oxfam compromised?
What do we
UNICEF
mean by
compromised? They're just. It turns out that they're a CIA money-making organization or something like that.
Well, I mean, speaking of compromised, though, breaking news: as of 8 minutes ago, U.S. Is looking into a Treasury Department hack. The Treasury Department got hacked.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Whoa!
That sucks. A little bit of breaking news for you.
It's everyone's credit card numbers.
Well, yeah. Everyone who works for the Treasury Department's credit card numbers.
Yeah. Have you ever enjoyed an open world video game? Truly enjoyed an open world video game? Gotten immersed
Witcher,
to the point?
But Witcher's not that open world.
Yeah, because it still has the Vfremdung effect. Do you know about the concept of the Vfremdung effect?
No.
The Vfremdung effect was a concept posited by German playwright Bertolt Brecht. In his pursuit of epic theater, he sought to remind the audience that they were watching theater and thus take them out of it or think more about the meta-narrative of the play rather than be immersed in the play. And in the same way, I would argue, and he was doing that sort of for moral reasons, because he believed that people were not aware of the world around them, and thus to take them out of the theatrical narrative was to suddenly jolt them into reality. And that's why plays like the Three Penny Opera deal with poverty and social issues of social justice and stuff like that. And so I think in games, similarly, we need some sort of truly epic game, which has the scope of something like a Red Dead Redemption or a Cyberpunk, but has the necessary Vfremdung effect to take the player out of the experience and constantly remind them that they're playing a game, so as to make them so that the game complements the reality around them as opposed to supplants it.
Well, I don't know about that, man. You started by asking a question: have I ever been immersed in a open world game?
Yeah, you said Witcher 3.
Yeah.
But Witcher 3 is not, because it's so narrative driven and because it's so hokey and weird and specific, I feel like you always have the Vfremdung effect in Witcher 3. You never can get that immersed, because if you were someone that related to Geralt of Rivia, you'd be a fucking psychopath. I'm sure there are dozens of people like that.
Dozens. Yeah, the people who read the books.
Yeah, the weird Polish guys who read the books.
I mean, I'm trying to think of video games I've been immersed in.
I really love the world of The Witcher, though, because it's such this dismal Eastern European medieval world.
Witcher 3 is great. It's really good. It's fun. I don't get immersed in open world games really.
Yeah.
Like I can't ever really role play in those. Like pretend to be the person or the character I've created.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's my answer.
Yeah, but the goal is you're not you. You're this guy. You're Badger Harrison, the cowboy from Red Dead Redemption. That's his name, is Badger Harrison. That's the main character.
What's the guy? What's the name? I can't remember anything. I played 15 minutes of Red Dead Redemption and I was like, this is not for me. It's not for me. I don't like it.
What don't you like about it? It's boring?
It's boring.
But that's what people love about it. It's just like podcasts. You immerse yourself in a new reality.
I don't want to I don't want to trim my virtual beard and groom my virtual horse. Be a virtual boy. I don't want to do that.
People love being a virtual boy. They love being a virtual tough guy. That's the whole sell. And that's okay. The other aspect too of it, which is sinister about these open world games, these truly hyper immersive open world games, is that in order to achieve the level of detail necessary for the game to become, the thing that you just explore willy-nilly, like almost all of these games require hideous crunch. They kill their programmers, they kill their graphics guys, they kill everybody in the pursuit to make a world that everybody gets absorbed in. So it's very funny that it's like it's like a million people. It's like if Westworld, it wasn't just sentient robots, but also the labor required to construct Westworld was basically equivalent to people building the pyramids or something, or people building the Hoover Dam or something. Just millions of dying workers.
Yeah.
No one died from
these nerds are suffering like the pyramids, like the slaves working for the Egyptians building the pyramids.
We're told that the slaves built the pyramids.
The PMC class, the managers with their whips, whips cracking to get those.
Maybe they do have that at CD Projekt Red. I don't know.
All the developers are just only wearing loincloths.
Yeah, they're beating a drum. Dun, 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 dun. They have to program to the beat of the drum.
Yeah, that's why it takes them so long. It's like...
oh my god, they all wear spiked collars. They all have to wear chastity belts until the game is finished. They can't come until the game is finished.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Chastity belts, I learned, were a import from the First Crusade.
From where? Who developed the initial chastity belt?
It was the Ottoman, or the either, I don't know, wherever they were, the First Crusade was. It wasn't Ottomans at that point yet. It was like the kingdom of Syria. I don't know. Kingdom of, or some Arabian kingdom.
Okay. So the chastity belt, as you're saying, was developed in the Middle East.
Yes.
Okay.
And then brought back with great fanfare. Like, look what we found. Aren't these great?
My God. We are trying to root out these barbarians, but they've invented a genital lock. Yeah. It's amazing.
We found the genital lock that we've been looking for. My God. Quickly. Yeah. And then like a medieval king killed 40 horses racing it to get back to Bavaria. Or
we must tell them to nos. Must tell them to nos. Now we will no longer be constrained by our huge erections.
Yes, my poor daughter Tenzin is only 13 and she's going to be married in 3 years. I need a way to make sure she stays pure. It's like 400 people die.
The problem is there's no hole for her pee, so the pee just accumulates in the.
Yeah, it took 200 years for them to figure out how to make a pee hole.
Yeah.
In the chest.
Yeah. It was just all these, why are so many young maidens dying of toxic shock?
Well, it wasn't toxic shock. It was something.
I don't know.
Something
it would be a kidney thing.
Something caused by the devil because of woman's sinly nature.
Oh yeah, it would be clamp down hysteria. They'd call it.
But yeah, clamp down because the devil got a hold on you.
Yes. Who better to clamp down? Better clamp down.
Man.
I see your dick, my ass is going for it. I am gonna clamp down. The Clash. Are they good? Sure. The Clash are fine. I'll give that to you. I don't like Bob Dylan, but I like The Clash.
Oh, they're the same.
You're right. Bob Dylan and The Clash are the exact same thing.
They're very similar. No, I don't know.
Guy with a terrible voice saying non-specific political sounding things. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing about Bob Dylan is he's not political, but he's political sounding.
Yeah, I guess so. He's got a lot of material.
Song? Times are changing. That could mean anything. You could be a Republican, and that could be your song. The times are changing.
Yeah.
You could be like you could be a Maoist. You know what's one of the funniest expressions of popular liberalism?
The song All Star.
Smash Mouth All Star.
Yeah, that's my answer.
Okay, I was going to say John Lennon's Revolution, but you go first.
Hey, now you're an all-star. Get your game on. Go play. Is like what the rich banker Democrats do. Yeah,
well, yeah, because it's also the lyrics make reference to climate change.
All
the world's on fire.
All that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars fade away.
They break the mold.
Break the mold. See?
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah, it is a philosophy of exceptionalism. But I don't know if that's a liberal philosophy. I don't know if that can be ascribed to a lot of... That could also be right-wing philosophy as well, is the emphasis on individual conquest. I was just going to say John Lennon's Revolution is funny because he's just being a real lib in it. He's being a real centrist. If you go carry around pictures of Chairman Mao... Mm-hmm. Ain't gonna make it with anyone.
That apparently has some backstory that I am too stupid to understand.
That he was offended by a tankie. That's probably it. It's just this tankie he was talking to me about Mao at a party, and I thought, nah, Mao's a bastard. He's a little bastard.
Yeah, but he apparently later regretted that line. I think so. I don't know.
He should regret a lot of lines.
Yeah, a lot of lines.
Run for your life if you can, little girl. Hide your head in the sand, little girl. If I catch you with another man, that's the end.
That doesn't mean he's gonna kill her? Lyrics. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's gonna fucking murder her. That song's about how he's gonna fucking murder that girl if she cheats.
I'm gonna murder you. He's gonna murder you. I'm gonna murder you.
Murder you. Well, that was the Lost Beatles song, I'm Gonna Murder You. We thought it was a little dark for the radio. And then there was Paul's song, If You Leave Me, I'm Gonna Cut You Up into Pieces. Oh, if you leave me, I'll cut you up into pieces.
Yeah. With an annoying bass line that goes everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it was really... We put it in the Lost collection, the violent Beatles songs. The violent collection. It was released to little fanfare. People did not like it. It conflicted with our wholesome image. I'm losing the Liverpudlian accent. I'm just going into generic Cockney.
Nobody knows anything about accents over there. They don't have...
Oh, the Beatles. Everyone knows the Beatles because everybody knows Wacko from Animaniacs.
Remember the Beatles in Walk Hard? They were great.
Yeah, Walk Hard... I've told you before that Walk Hard is probably my favorite comedy movie of all time.
Walk Hard, the extended edition, I own it in every format type good, you know? I don't, but that's how good it is.
It's because it's also just, it's from that Apatow series of comedies in the 2000s, but it was really tightly scripted and it didn't depend on, loose improv, and it really had a point about why music biopics were stupid and shitty.
Yeah.
It really had a strong point of view as opposed to, like other parody movies. I mean, especially like the Epic movie.
Tropic Thunder is really what I would say the best comedy movie for me.
Tropic Thunder is very funny,
but they're both in the same kind of thing. Your description sounded to me a lot like how I think of Tropic Thunder.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's definitely it just is a meta narrative about war movies, whereas Walk Hard is a meta narrative about music biopics. But also just, talking about how shallow and horrible it is to summarize someone's life in this fashion, I think that's that's the point of Walk Hard, is that to compress somebody's life into this series of, snippets where the conflict arises because of their drug addiction, which is, that was the main conflict in both Walk the Line and Ray, which were the movies that it was cribbing the most from. Is to reduce somebody to, a single moment in their life and to really do them a disservice as a whole person. So you always are just going to end up with this fucking golem, this weird, dumb, lazy clay creature named Dewey Cox.
And that's that's what we did as a society to Tiger King this March.
Yeah.
We reduced a man to one moment in time. He just happened to be multiple married with a lot of dangerous animals and drugs and guns. And he deserves a pardon. And so this episode goes out to Donald Trump, our president. Please pardon the Tiger King.
Pardon Tiger King.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the lame duck pardons. People have been saying Assange and Snowden, of course. But who are your pardons? Who are your big pardons that you want?
Tiger King, and then let's see, who's in jail right now?
Martin Shkreli. Get Shkreli out of there.
The guy that who's that Honey That Shrunk the Kids guy that got knocked out?
Rick Moranis?
Yeah, pardon the guy that knocked out Rick Moranis.
Pardon the guy that knocked out Rick Moranis. We needed that. He was
funny.
doing the world a service. Yeah,
little pipsqueak got knocked out.
You know what's funny? The knockout game was a total piece of mythology. And then 10 years after it had left the public consciousness as a thing, it just happens to a celebrity, but a celebrity who had been out of commission for 20 years, but everyone still recognized.
I mean, it's
a very strange series of events.
It's a thing, sort of, just not a very widely done thing, because whenever a thing can't be to like, oh, we're going to videotape crimes, because then everyone gets caught.
Getting sucker punched by a bunch of youths is not a knockout game, That's just getting sucker punched by youths,
Right, but the idea was that there were, like, you have to spread, like, innate to the idea is that they were also spreading it around, and so
you had to film it and memify it.
Otherwise, it doesn't get memified very well, and then it's not going to spread. And since by its very definition, you catch the people who do it generally.
Yeah,
I guess you could do knockout game and wear masks now because of COVID.
Yeah, there you go.
Get caught.
Maybe Antifa.
We could meme it.
Should start a.
Oh hell, we could meme it. Shit, man, we could meme that.
The Proud Boys are doing the knockout game. They like to do the knockout game.
Apparently there's a Proud Boys protest. Some people got stabbed in D.C. You see that?
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on, guys? Why are we stabbing people? I don't know.
Because they're Proud Boys.
I guess they are some of the worst boys.
Oh man, the fucking who some of the worst boys is Destiny, the streamer Destiny.
Oh, I was seeing something about him.
Man, he was
he's a little too online.
He's very online, but man, his fans are like, for some reason, a lot of them defend incest. For some reason, that's like one of their things. Is like. One of their things is to be contrarian is like, incest, when you think about it, between consenting adults is fine. But that's like, sure, okay, but it's like one of their main things. Like, that's one of their big topics.
They love it.
They love it.
Is Ben Shapiro secretly involved?
No. Does Ben Shapiro want to fuck his sister?
Probably.
Is that part of the Ben Shapiro mythos?
Yeah, I think so. I'm making it so. Make it so, number one.
My sister's hot, and my wife's pussy is dry. It took me 10 years of marriage to figure out that her pussy's not supposed to be dry. See, that's why WAP is the song of the year, because it got Ben Shapiro.
He explained it.
Yeah,
line by line. I gotta watch that. It seems like a tour de force.
God bless. We harp on Ben Shapiro. But he generates incredible content. Some right-wing pundits are just bland. Ben Shapiro, you cannot accuse him of being bland. He always goes for broke.
Dan Bongino. Is it Bongino or Bongino?
I don't know who that guy is.
He's
Dan Bongino.
Dan Bongino. He's like number one.
Dan Bongino.
He's the number one Facebook guy for the right wing.
Is he a sunglasses wearing car dad?
Probably. I don't know. He's just like always the number one Facebook right winger guy.
Dan Bongino.
I think it's Bongino.
Bongino. Dan Bongino.
I don't know. If you listen to Pod Save America, you would know who he is because they talk about him.
They talk about Pod. I feel like those guys tend to be focused on the wrong stuff.
I like the stuff they focused on. I don't like the stuff that comes out of their mouths most of the time, but I listen to a lot of podcasts where I don't agree with the people anymore. Because otherwise they'd feel lonely.
Pod Save America is the Scrubs of podcasts. They all have like this very intense Scrubs energy. So that, And I couldn't help but wonder. No, that's what Sex and the City says. That's what Sarah Jessica Parker says. Sex and the City is a great show. It talks about how you want to fuck billionaires. I just want to fuck billionaires. And I want to end up with a billionaire. Because he was good at fucking.
I only saw like the second movie of all, because I was dragged. The
second movie is great, though. What the fuck are you talking about? I could talk about the fucking Sex and the City 2. Opens with the gay wedding with Liza Minnelli there, which, if it were written by anybody other than gay men, would be considered homophobic. Fucking, while they're in the desert, fucking Samantha says, Lawrence of my labia. Nearing the end of the movie, all of the women in the niqabs open their niqabs and say, we are dressed in Gucci. We're just like you. We're fashion bitches. The scene where Carrie is with a servant from India, and the Indian servant explains to her that he can only visit his wife once a month because he is so poor and basically an indentured servant in the United Arab Emirates. And the lesson Carrie learns from it is that, sometimes I do need to spend time apart from my husband. As opposed to, help this guy. You need to pay this man more. And there's not even like a scene of like Carrie giving him a big fat tip or anything like that. So it's just very oblivious. Man, Sex and the City 2 is an amazing movie.
That reminds me of the Seinfeld where Elaine goes to the Indian wedding. Remember that one?
Is that problematic now? I can't remember.
I don't know. Is Sex and the City 2 problematic now?
It was problematic then.
Well, maybe that Seinfeld episode was problematic. I don't remember if Indian Wedding is problematic, but I remember Elaine goes to, it's like a backwards episode or something. Remember that one?
Yeah, it's a backwards episode. Does someone get the shits? That's like a problematic stereotype about India.
Maybe.
I don't know. What's the most problematic Seinfeld episode? What's one that wouldn't exist today? Like
The one with...
I'm tempted to say the cigar store Indian, but the joke is that Jerry's an idiot. The joke is that Jerry's a fucking asshole. So I don't know if it's that problematic.
Well, I mean, now I don't know. If he's like he is now, back then, I don't know. In our hypothetical, he probably wouldn't care about too much politically correctness. I mean, I don't know. Doesn't the government decide what you can put on TV?
Yeah, them government regulating men TV.
Didn't
can't see no.
I just figured the government wrote Seinfeld.
Pardon?
I just figured the government wrote most Seinfeld and other TV shows.
I mean, I guess Seinfeld's insulated a little bit, the same way that Always Sunny in Philadelphia is insulated a little bit, because if the characters are explicitly evil, then everything they do can be explained away by these characters are evil and stupid, so, it's not problematic that we're showing evil and stupid people doing evil and stupid things. Like, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia did a fuck ton of blackface, but they've mostly remained unscathed. Whereas, when Tina Fey dresses up Jane Krakowski in blackface all the time, the problem is you're actually supposed to sympathize with her character, which is, to some degree, which makes it harder to, wave that shit away.
Now, why didn't Always Sunny get canceled more?
I think it's when you have characters that are explicitly, because they're explicitly terrible, so you can get away with a lot more.
I guess you have to do,
when you're not supposed to, yeah.
Maybe we should cultivate a little bit more of a bad boy image so we can get away with saying more stuff.
No.
We're bad boys. Hey, we're a couple of bad boys.
I can't pretend to be a bad boy. I actually get very nervous and upset if I ever feel that.
I have to poop when I pretend to be a bad boy.
No, well, it's just, I want to be an edgelord. I also walk that line of, if I ever said something untoward to people, I feel like a real grade A heel, which is why I wouldn't be a good comedian. I'd be very bad at roasting people.
Oh, yeah, and that's the crowd work is most of what comedy is. It's just making fun of people in the crowd.
Oh, my God. That's, have you ever watched Key and Peele all the way through?
Yes.
The sketch show?
Yes, I have.
Do you remember... I think it might be one of my favorite sketches of all time. It's a comedian. Keegan-Michael Key plays a comedian, and in the crowd is Jordan Peele, who's has severe burns all over his body and speaks with a Vox box. And Keegan-Michael Key is doing crowd work, and he's insulting people for being fat or and then he gets to the bird guy, and he's like, "Ah, come on, man!" And he does a bunch of non-jokes, and then Jordan Peele says, "Go ahead, I can take it." And so he tries it out, and then Peele immediately starts crying, and the crowd turns against Keegan. I just think that's the funniest shit ever. That show is really good. I stand Key and Peele as a sketch show.
Yeah.
I think it's very funny.
Even though they came out as centrists.
Who cares if most people are libs? Okay, that's the other thing I was thinking about why the post-left is fucking stupid. Because it's the people who we should be trying to get to leftism are libs. They're already there with the social things. We just need to get them on the economic platform, which is a lot easier than getting right-wing people who are economically married to free market capitalism and also, not there on the social freedoms boat. Yeah, I don't understand why, even though we love to antagonize libs, I think it can be counterproductive sometimes, because these are really the people who will be far easier to convince to get social entitlements, as they have done in the past. Libs have been made to bend the knee to entitlement programs in the past.
That's not happening now.
Yeah. No, because they have all the power. Because libs are the majority voting bloc. Because libs form most of the Republican Party and most of the Democratic Party. There's, when Francis Fukuyama said that neoliberal capitalism was the end of history, I think he was right, because it can replicate dissent so well that you can never actually escape it. Because that's the line that hopeful communists use about capitalism when Ursula K. Le Guin said, capitalism seems inescapable, but then again, so did the divine right of kings, But the difference being is that the kings were never able to effectively simulate rebellion, but still control things from behind the scenes. Whereas that's all that capitalism does. It's most effectively suited for mimicking progress and then not actually delivering. So I think it's a lot harder to escape the matrix. It's matrices all the way down.
Yeah, I think the kings they would sometimes actually simulate a rebellion in order to quash it. I think that happened.
That's pretty funny. Medieval hypernormalization.
Yeah, I think that...
You have a medieval Adam Curtis.
I think that happened. I was reading
about... what the kings are doing is they're sowing discord intentionally.
Yeah, I was reading about this guy... Well, there's just this amazing guy called Charles of Navarre, or Charles the Bad, who was a schemer in the 14th century, and he was trying to scheme away the French throne from his cousin, John the Good, who was kind of good for nothing.
That's good PR, just call yourself the Good.
John the Good messed up a bunch. John the Good is, I think, maybe the only French king to be captured by the English at the Battle of Poitiers. And it was...
Loser!
It was crazy. They, just captured the French king and they dragged him back to England. And, I mean, he they treated him real nice. They were basically family, The English king at the time, Edward III, grew up only speaking French because they're all Norman. So
fucking normies.
Just like French people fighting French people, really. But he was the English king, and so they take him back. And then Charles the Bad starts scheming to get the throne from the French prince. And he's doing all kinds of schemes.
The French Prince of Bel-Air. Right.
The French Prince of Bel-Air. And
Le France Prince.
A peasant revolt starts called the Jacquerie. Jacquerie.
Yeah. And that was the name of a gay club I went to, the Jacquerie, but go on.
And it was being led by a peasant named Guillaume Cale. And
all right.
Not much is known about Guillaume Cale. He just kind of arose to be the leader of the Jacquerie. And I was just thinking, how he was being propped up by Charles the Bad as part of his schemes.
Yeah, I suppose maybe that's another example of our just digital age solipsism. We just think the fact that we have this new technology means that we have this whole new paradigm when it comes to being fucked with. But no, people in positions of power have been using all these means to mind fuck you. It's not so... I think people need to stop worrying about being mind fucked so much. Everyone's always trying to mind fuck you. Has been since the day people discovered there were minds to be fucked. Mm-hmm. Try not to worry about it as much, In a way, I really like that South Park thing where it showed the funny side of deep fakes. That fake lawyer ad with the Trump deep fake that they had, Sassy Law, or whatever.
See it.
Yeah. I think that is something that I've been trying to develop more is, mental fortitude towards realizing that everything that I believe in reality is an utter sham.
Yeah, well, just go outside, look at the stuff. There's stuff, you can touch it. You could buy it. You could even buy some of that stuff and to feel better when you buy it. And then throw that thing away and buy the new version.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you got to do, see? That's what you got to do. You listen here. Let me tell you, this is what you got to do.
Let me hear. Just tell you, you got to consume. You got to go to Black Friday. You got to buy 3 eggs. You got to throw those 3 eggs at some cars. Those people's cars will crash, and then they'll buy new cars. You're stimulating the economy.
Hey, why don't you saw off a parking meter? That's a good way to make some money.
Why don't you set up your own lemonade stand, and then turn that stand into a bank?
That is what... Oh, my God. That is... Okay, there's a great story from the Alexander Hamilton biography. Alexander Hamilton had a very tight grasp of all the banks in New York City. He controlled all the banks in New York City. And some...
Oh, yeah. Because he was a Jew.
Some Democrat a Jeffersonian Democrat was like, this is not fair. I want to start a bank, but Hamilton won't let me because I'm allied with Thomas Jefferson. So this guy pretended to start a water company because New York had a lot of problems with clean water. And he was like, I'm going to start a water company to install clean water for everybody. Everybody's going to get clean water. And I'm going to take investors in my water company. And he got it all together. And you needed approval from the government to start this kind of company. He started it as he got the bill written. And then he, right before it was passed, inserted a clause that was like, and also it's a bank. And it worked. The bill passed. He started his water company and now bank, and then immediately quit doing anything related to water. And was like, all the people who gave him money because they were like, oh, we're finally going to get clean water, were shafted. And he was like, actually, it's a bank now. And yeah, just a great story of lying to set up a bank by preying on people's desire for, clean water.
That's history is going to repeat again. All these California water futures, they're just going to turn out to be banks. All of these farmers are just going to have banks on their land now.
Yeah. Well, what the farmers might do is, what some of the people might do is like start in trying to get more desalination plants. I don't know, maybe get that going. But what they're going to just try to do is expand the places where you can legally do it in California, and then expand the number of people doing it, and then just try to grow and grow. And as water is needed more and more all over this country, the index will grow, and then they'll be able to expand into other places. So it's really a bad sign, in my opinion. It's a harbinger, if you will.
Yes. Fundamental resource, things that we consider fundamental, hypothetically infinitely replenishable resources. Water shouldn't belong to anybody, but it does. Because we have a state whose primary obligation is to fight for people's property rights. What do they call people's water rights? What's the funny legal name for it? Their antiquarian rights? Or no, not their antediluvian rights? I don't know. I don't remember it. But, yeah. No one should own a chunk of the river. Don't own the river. Don't own the creeks. Don't own anything. Everyone should just go to the Kaczynski Lodge. We're all Kaczynski Lodge, and you don't even own that.
What's the Kaczynski Lodge?
Oh, we've talked about Ted Kaczynski's house.
The Unabomber's house.
Yeah. The Unabomber, the Un-A-Bomber.
The Onion
But
Bomber.
even he was not the Onion Bomber.
I'm the onion. I hide bombs inside of onions. And then
that would be gross.
You get one at the grocery store and it blows onions up at you.
Oh no, it's the Onion Bomber. He struck again. I smell all oniony now. This is right before a job interview.
I'm the Onion Bomber. I dress in gray sweatpants. Wait, the Onion Bomber. That sounds like it's a version of Obama. The Onion Obama.
The Onion Bomber?
The Onion Bomber.
The Onion Obama? Onion Bomber?
Obama stands for Onion Bomber. Obama's her Irish name.
Barack Obama.
I'm Obama, the Onion Bomber.
Fucking, I told you about my theory about, how David Icke has lizard people?
No, I don't know that.
Well, you know the lizard people. Everybody knows the lizard people.
No, I don't know.
The reptilians. You know about the reptilians.
You mean the reptilian conspiracy?
Yeah, the reptilian conspiracy started, well, not started, but popularized by David Icke, the British conspiracy theorist, that the world leaders, the Illuminati, they're all a bunch of lizards in human skins. Mm-hmm. But I feel that they're, not only are there lizard people, there are onion people as well, who operate, because, they use the, well, obviously lizard people don't actually fucking exist. It's a very good image because it represents these people that are operating on sort of this malevolent, reptilian, instinctual cruelty, which I do think is a feature of the high-powered PMC. Yeah, onion people, they operate on a even deeper, more malevolent, instinctual instinct, which is why you had the battle between Trump, who is an onion man, and also Onion Obama.
I'm an onion guy. I'm an onion type guy. You know, if there's types of guys, and I'm an onion type guy.
I'm an onion man.
Yeah.
I'm an onion guy. I just got a lot. I don't. Oh, you think I have layers? Like I'm gonna say the Shrek thing? No, I don't have layers. I'm just like I just make you cry.
You seen that video of the toddler eating the onion?
Why would you make your toddler do that?
No, the toddler's doing it. The toddler is just holding an onion and eating it.
Okay, just like straight up, and he's not flinching.
Yeah, it kind of looks like you. Actually, I think it's a video of you.
That's probably me. I'm an onion eater because I'm an onion man.
Yeah. Onion people wear gray sweatpants and headbands.
Yeah,
and
onion people got little hairs growing out their nipples.
Yeah, onion people got the nose hairs intermingling with the mustache.
Onion people just fart uncontrollably when at traffic lights.
While giggling to themselves.
While giggling and laughing, because these traffic lights are just unbearably funny. They're resulting in bodily spasms.
Sometimes a really long traffic light can be very funny. Like if you start thinking about how ridiculously long it is, like a 10-minute long traffic light, I could see myself uncontrollably laughing and farting at some point.
Yeah. Really giggling and farting at these it's like it's really anticipation, you know. That's the key. Anticipation traffic lights, you know. Giggling and farting. Onion people, something also onion people do is, you know, they like to shove quarters in between their toes, in between the webbing of their toes, and then, you know, take a mallet and see if they can, you know, push the webbing of their toes back by hitting on these quarters so that they can get longer toes. That's something that onion people do. Onion people also like to lick stamps, put them all over their genitals, and mail themselves to grandma.
Wow.
Genital stamps.
Genital. White House staff will be among the first in the U.S. to get vaccinated. Oh, nice.
Great. Good for them.
We got enough. We ordered 16 of the vaccines for the U.S.
That'll be enough. There are 16 people in these here United States.
Yeah, well, actually, no, because it's 2 doses each, so it's for 8.
Oh.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's the highest number.
Actually, one of the vials broke, so one guy's going to get just a half dose. We could split that one up into 2 if you wanted, if you need 2 shots. Sorry, I'm just doing what customer service is like in the United States. If you wanted, we could just split the 1 and make it 2. I know you because you paid for 2 shots.
Or we could forget about this whole thing. Enter the void, you know? Just step in through that bad boy, you know? Get going. Just embrace chaos and destruction. Become decay.
Did you post
America, become decay.
Did you post your Sunday smile on the internet? You got to post your Sunday smile. Yeah. What?
Is that a meme?
Dude,
is that a thing that you're supposed to do?
The most popular meme out there right now. Post your Sunday smile, and then your pastor will thumbs up.
I was unpasteurized.
Oh, yeah?
By which I mean, my anus is unpasteurized.
Yeah, they're out there. The pastors are out there pasteurizing little boys a little too much, you know, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yeah, they shouldn't pasteurize these little boys. That's why they need to make unpasteurized milk legal in America.
Yeah, because what is that? That's when a pastor, comes in it? That's when a milk gets pasteurized?
Yeah, that's what pasteurized milk is, when a pastor comes in the milk. And then it kills the bacteria, because the pastors come as very acidic, because they drink a lot of communion wine.
Right. They're pickled. Yeah. A pickled pastor.
Yeah. Have you ever had your urethra pickle from the inside? You ever drink so much wine? You ever drink so much wine and brine that your
we're whining and brining
from the inside? We're whining and brining tonight. Oh my God. You are joking, but you actually just pitched the BuzzFeed Wine Mom Pickling Challenge, you know, which is now that we've mentioned it, it's already a thing. It's already out there.
Should we make our own listicle site? The House of Decline listicle site?
Yeah, it's called List of Decline.
Yeah.
It's just 8 tips for margs. 8 tips for making your margs filled with more mind-bending drugs.
Oh, man.
First, get your margs. 2, get your drugs. 3, put them together. 4, we didn't even need 8. That was a simple process.
What do you think it's like in New Orleans right now? I bet it's like filled with, the only people who go there are the anti-maskers. And so it's just like half full, but filled with the worst people on earth this March.
The only knowledge I have of New Orleans culture is the man on the Zatarans box.
Yeah,
Other than that, I'm completely stumped.
New Orleans, as I'm saying it correctly, by the way, New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
New Orleans.
I've been there one time, and the downtown area is a nightmare.
You don't like Bourbon Street?
I saw 2 head injuries from falling from being blackout drunk.
That's
on
pretty
one
great.
Night.
Was it Mardi Gras or was it just a regular?
It was just like fall. It was like October, September, the furthest away from Mardi Gras one can get, and it's just blackout drunk people.
I love Bourbon Street.
Great culture.
What's this street named?
Yeah, great culture.
PCP Street.
Yeah.
What's this street named? DMT Street. Man, Nolans. I told you about my punk rock Zydeco character, Henry Nolans.
I think you've told me.
Very intense. I'm very intense about Zydeco music. My baby, she don't want me no more. Henry Rollins. How do we feel about Henry Rollins?
I don't know. He seems like he's knowledgeable sometimes. I don't really care what he has to say. I was never a fan of his bands. What are his bands? Black Flag,
and then Rollins Band. I like the song Liar. That's like a song that I would have a soundboard of the main. 'Cause I'm a liar! He's dressed up as a devil. The music's a little funky.
Yeah.
He's okay.
I didn't listen to Black Flag, I guess.
Rise above, we're gonna rise above. Oh, I've got 3 nails in my dicks. We're gonna rise above. We're gonna rise above.
What are his songs about?
They're about rising above, mostly.
What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean to do that?
I think, early Black Flag sort of has the general... early Rollins Black Flag, I should say, because Black Flag predates Rollins, but then he became their hot new shit in 1979, was it? And then they came out with Damaged, and then they had a record problem, so they couldn't come out with another album for 3 years. But yeah, it's mostly about post-teenage angst and vague general rebellion, being dissatisfied with the trappings of American society. And all that fun stuff. And then later...
Yeah, but then the 80s
Black
were great.
Flag.
Remember?
A lot of great stuff from the different Strokes. Perfect Strangers. Family Matters. All 3. All 3 are beautiful.
When did MASH
Mr.
come out?
Gorbachev, tear down my back walls.
Oh, you love the back walls stuff. And is that the back walls of your butthole? Is that what that is?
Yeah, there are no back walls of the butthole, which is why I find it funny. I feel... I like the idea that somebody could hit the back wall. I guess if you hit the sphincter that goes from the large intestine to the small intestine, that would be the closest to anus back walls, asshole back walls, but that would require a Mr. Fantastic penis.
Like a stretchy one that can stretch forever?
A stretchy penis that can conform to the inside of your tubes.
You should draw a cartoon of that.
Plenty. It's already been done. Since Mr. Fantastic was born, everyone been saying, is his dick stretchy?
Oh, so the cartoons have been... the cartoons have
other
all
stretchy
been done.
Characters, yeah. In One Piece, the main character, Monkey D. Luffy, the author Aiichiro Oda has confirmed that his penis is indeed stretchy, because he is also a stretch person.
Oh. One Piece has a stretch person.
It's the main character is the stretch person.
Does he use his powers to like unlock doors?
No, he can't. He can't mold his penis into keys and then unlock doors. Unfortunately,
I guess he's not that stretchy.
No, he's not that stretchy. No, he mostly punches people with elastic force.
Oh.
And then he'll like bite into his bloodstream and then like blow up his arm to gigantic proportions. One Piece is really good. I could do a whole fucking episode on One Piece.
He'll turn himself into a balloon.
He does frequently. That's Gomu Gomu no Fusen.
That's what that is.
Gomu Gomu no Fusen.
That's a move he has.
Yeah, it's Gomu Gomu no Fusen.
Cool.
It's Gum Gum Balloon. Well, or Rubber Balloon. You see, he ingested the Gomu Gomu devil fruit, Steven. He ingested the fruit, and it gave him fucking powers. And he can stretch, but he wants to be the fucking greatest pirate in the world. He wants to find the treasure, One Piece, left behind by Goldie Roger.
And
who we thought was...
What ocean? They're in like a... Pacific?
It's a world of its own making. They're in the... It starts out in the East Blue. They live in the East Blue, but their goal is to get to the Grand Line, which is a sea that traverses the world on an equator and is bisected perpendicularly by the Red Line, but the only continental landmass on the Earth.
But this is Earth, right? Still.
It's not explicitly Earth. It takes place in an alternate type of Earth. The same way that Dragon Ball takes place in an alternate type of Earth.
Yeah, but on
that
Earth.
Is made up of...
It's all happening on Earth, though.
It's all Earth. Well, that's the funny thing about Tolkien. Middle-earth is supposed to be Earth.
Yeah, I know.
It is supposed to be like a lost age of Earth.
Midgard, which is the Norse word for Earth.
Yes. So the ninja universe of Naruto, and the pirate universe of One Piece, and the martial artist universe of Dragon Ball... They all coalesce. They're all Earth. Everything is Earth.
The pirate universe of the Caribbean.
Oh, man. Do you have any feelings about those movies?
About the Johnny Depp movie?
The Johnny Depp movie.
I only saw the first one.
I saw the first three.
We were in high school when they came out. You remember high school? Holy shit.
You remember high school? Remember sexual inadequacy?
No, because there weren't girls around in high school. So there was no... The sexual inadequacy was like a totally different sort.
Catholic school. Locker room chants. Everybody looking at everybody's pants.
Didn't go into the locker rooms in high school.
Good. Smart choice. You might have caught gay.
That's not why. Because the jerks.
Because they would beat you. Because they would do... Because American bullying is like borderline sexual assault. Forget borderline.
Yeah.
It is just sexual assault.
There was people, like a kid who wanted to be on the football team but was not really big enough, and they like put something up his butt, and that was terrible.
Yeah. That's the fucking... There was at one of Canada's biggest hockey high schools, St. Mike's, there were... one famous incident of a child being sodomized with a broom by the hockey team members that were hazing him.
Yeah, it's
and
the
specifically the phrase "sodomized with a broom" kept appearing in the news cycle.
Yeah, that's the same kind of guys that go on to be in the army and do stuff to peasants in the Middle East,
and the NHL,
and then the NHL do stuff to peasants in the NHL.
Gretzky got sodomized with a broom, and he was better for it.
Was he? Maybe he was worse. If you think about that, man, maybe the reason... Maybe he could have been even better.
Had Gretzky never been sodomized with a broom, he wouldn't have voted conservative. He wouldn't have voted for Stephen Harper.
That's a good way around like slander laws, is to compliment someone and say they would have been better if this didn't happen to them, or if they didn't do this. Yeah,
look. If Wayne Gretzky hadn't killed that girl, he could have been the best.
Well, it doesn't work if you do it that way.
Just start accusing. If he hadn't killed that girl, look. If Ted Kennedy hadn't killed that girl, that one's real. Whoops.
Hey, that was a CIA plant. They put that body in the trunk.
They put that girl in Ted Kennedy's car.
They were framing him.
Who put all this alcohol in my whiskey?
See, the fun thing to do is to be a lib who's also an anti-CIA lib, which there aren't enough of. Because all the libs...
That's a weird combination.
All the libs right now, they love JFK, but they would never admit that the CIA did it.
They love the deep state. They want it to go deeper.
Yeah, they want... Like, Biden's appointing Facebook and Google people to the government. I saw that.
Yeah, he appointed Raytheon guy to defense stuff.
And they're just going to keep censoring stuff on Twitter and Facebook and Google. Google censors, too. I don't know if you've noticed, but using Google sucks now. It's harder to find stuff. And I was actually talking about how, the concept of having information at your fingertips was revolutionary in the internet. Mm-hmm. It has shifted now because now the information that we have at our fingertips is no longer reliable. So the paradigm of being able to look anything up at any time and know the answer is over. It's now you can look anything up and get an answer, but it's who the fuck knows if it's the right answer.
Yeah, it's gone from the democratization of knowledge to the sort of consumer alienation of knowledge. Knowledge is something that is not collective, but rather consumable, and you can consume your own piece of knowledge. And you can get different knowledge products.
Mm-hmm. It's not
good. And knowledge products. That's what we sell now. We don't sell brain juice, but that's what our podcast is. It's a knowledge product.
I would like some brain juice.
We should just start manufacturing our own homemade brain powder.
Yeah, what are the ingredients?
Zinc and pubes.
Rhino horn.
That shit's rhino horn is difficult to source.
Rhino horn, I demand it.
Okay, it's rhino horn.
I demand it.
Shaved rhino horn.
Rare rhino horn.
It's just fucking keratin. You get the same effect with fingernails.
No,
just grind down your fingernails.
Rare rhino horn, gorilla brain.
It's got to be, as opposed to those common rhinos, not common rhino horn.
Yeah, rare.
We're not looking for no fucking vulgar pedestrian fucking rhino here. Are you fucking kidding me? We want to get so fucking horny.
Yeah.
Man, someone mentioned the other day how, like, when elephants see us, they think we're cute in the same way that we think dogs are cute. But all that made me think about was, like, a bunch of dogs, me thinking they're cute, and then they steal my teeth and kill me.
Yeah.
And then make a wastebasket out of my leg. We're a terrifying species.
Yeah, I hope we find like a planet of aliens in our space explorations, aliens that have never, even conceived of any Sorry, I'm just about to describe planetary genocide with glee. I should stop.
Okay. Now, come on, keep it going.
No. If I was the Empire in Star Wars, I wouldn't just blow up the planet. I would subjugate it first.
What if the Alderaanians, what if the Emperor just knew that Princess Leia's people, they were just shiftless humans like us? It was all real. If Princess Leia's planet was all white people, it's fine.
Damn,
it's fine. It's politically correct.
Let's get that on Twitter ASAP.
It is Alderaan was all white people, so it was actually, we know it's not all white people because Princess Leia's father, Bail Organa, was played by Jimmy Smits and is hence space Latino, so space Latinx. So that's it. That's it for my theory. It was hence unwoke of the Emperor to blow up Alderaan.
Oh, because of that one guy.
Yeah, because Jimmy Smits. That was it. That's all you needed.
Okay. Yeah. I think it was bad because they didn't subjugate them first and extract all the power from their life force.
The Empire, they never get into what they want.
Yeah.
They're just evil for evil's sake.
What do they want?
Suppose exists.
What do they believe in? That's kind of what does the Empire believe in? Why are they doing this?
I think that it is literally like the Sith thing is like power is divine, to accumulate power is the best thing, and that is the only thing there is.
Really?
And,
is that ever said, or are you just gonna kind of...
No, it's said in like the supplemental materials, but I think that's the basic gist of it is like literally the Sith the Sith ideology is evil for evil's
The
sake.
supplemental, the side work for understanding Star Wars, the homework.
Yeah, Empire for Empire's sake. Well, because the original Star Wars is you don't need to know what their motivation is because it's supposed to be a simple-ass story. It's supposed to be a simple-ass good versus evil story. All you need to know is they're bad. But then, once you start expanding on that universe, you can't. Because good versus evil is... there's only one time it happened in the 20th century, and that was World War II. And we keep harping on that one.
The one time.
Yeah. Well, actually, no, there was lots of good evil. Like, the Viet Cong were the good guys, and America was the bad guys. The Mujahideen was the good guys, and America was the bad guys.
Well, no, Mujahideen was fighting the Soviets, though.
They were, but then they fought the Americans as well.
Who was the bad guys between the
Americans.
Mujahideen and the Soviets?
I don't know.
Be very careful.
I don't know.
You're about to get canceled. Who was...
That's the greatest movie moment ever is Rambo 2's dedication to the brave Mujahideen soldiers.
That's so funny.
Oh my god. Keep fighting. Keep reaching for that rainbow, Mujahideen. Oh my god. Richard Mujahideen Anderson.
It's a
the
good
MacGyver.
Name. Yeah. Oh man.
Oh my god. Enough. So we're nearing the end of our podcast here. I would just like to sum up on some things we talked about, specifically about the existential horror of open world gaming.
Right.
Do not go gentle into that. Good night. Reject open world gaming.
Oh, so you're anti-open world gaming?
No, I'm anti. Yeah, I'm anti-open world.
Whoa.
No, I'm not anti-open world gaming, but I'm anti-gaming which emphasizes replication of reality as opposed to complementing reality. I think the goal should not be to hyper-immerse a person in a game, but rather to allow a person to experience a narrative where they're still aware of their outside surroundings. And I don't know how to do that, but I'm saying we're moving in a direction where that's not what's happening, and reality is being recreated and supplanted to a problematic degree if this evolution continues.
And we don't even know what to believe anymore, So yeah, I agree with that, even though, I don't really play open world games, so it doesn't matter if I agree. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just raising alarms because I like to raise alarms. And once again, it's not video games don't make you violent, but they make you compliant. And so we should strive to disrupt this tendency towards compliance.
Especially with all this DLC they've been doing, where you're just like, give me the whole game. Why do I gotta pay again in 6 months $30 more?
The only DLC I care about is my dick licking chicken. Sorry.
I was trying to think of my own one. Dick licking chicken's pretty good. That was the one I was gonna say.
It's DLC. You were gonna say.
I was
dick
gonna say that
chicken.
too. You stole my joke.
Okay. DLC. Dane Leavenworth Cook. I don't know.
What happened to Dane Cook? I always think about celebrities, and I'm like, I wonder if they got COVID and died.
His brother stole millions of dollars from him, and now his brother is in jail.
Ah, come on, bro.
That's what happened to Dane Cook. And his face is all puffy from bad plastic surgery.
Man, plastic surgery is that I don't like. Don't get it.
I get it. I like plastic surgery.
Okay, get it.
I support plastic surgery.
You should get it then. You should. I think I'll make an exception for you. I think you should get it.
I don't want
you need
it, but
it.
I think
you
some
need
people...
It. What if I said you need it?
There are a lot of drag queens I see that do need it. They need it for their jobs.
Well,
I would argue that Dolly Parton needs plastic surgery. It should be a write-off for her.
Oh, man.
As part of her gig.
Dolly Parton. I don't like her.
Nah, fuck Dolly.
No, she's fine.
Fuck
she's
Dolly
fine.
Parton.
No, you said it. I didn't say it. I just said I didn't like her.
I'm just saying... she's a lib shibboleth. She's a libelith. And reject all libeliths.
But buy Cyberpunk and play it. I think that's the...